Welcome in to Dale Fisher Rink at the GFL Twin Arenas in beautiful Devon, Alberta. We have got more U15 Elite Canadian Crown action as St. George's and the Calgary Cannex Bisons finish off their round-robin play right before our very eyes. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. Happy to have you with us wherever you find us from. Here comes St. George's as they send it in. Behind the cage was Rogers. Near side, the battle continues as Loeffler taken off of the puck by Jaden Nee. Comes back around and behind the cage, here's Ubungan. Far side as they reverse and play it in behind the goal. Loeffler to the opposite side. Little chip and chase forward. Hammered from the line. Nichols the save. Tried to shovel it back in front as Loeffler goes after it. Hill taken against the wall as they look to knock it forward. As the opportunities continue early on for these two teams. Now puck will work its way back out near side as Jolly sends it to Loeffler. Turned over as Gambetti throws it to the middle. Trying to drag it through was Davison. And some coincidentals being called after two players were tangled up over in front of the benches. As Jad Haymore going to be going on one side. And then John Main will be going away on the other side. Looks like John Main was leaking a little bit, as he's also in the sin bin. Again, they went for coincidentals. The official going to ask the lines official what they saw happen in front of the St. George's bench. So John Main trying to say that he was cut open as a result. So now he's going to have to come across and get some attention from the training staff. And now the question is going to be, with him coming back across, somebody's going to have to potentially serve for him. Somebody's going to have to serve if he's going to get stitched up in the change room. Indeed, it will be Spencer Ho that goes across, and he'll be in the box. So we stay five aside due to the coincidentals. As at the line, the Bisons looking to counterattack. St. George's will play it off of the wall. Solid jersey combination here as the old school looking Detroit Red Wings-esque jerseys for St. George's, and then these old school Blackhawks Calgary Bisons looking jerseys. Very old school original six feel between these two teams. They'll play it off of the boards. Centering feed broken up as they send it to the wall. An opportunity there for the Bisons as Ricky Hanna puts it down low. Sent off of the wall. That'll deflect off of the glass and up and out of play. Final game for these two teams as St. George's looking to bounce back, as are the Bisons. So we have a look back at the schedule and the paths that got these teams to this contest against one another. St. George's dropping a 6-3 game to Edge before they end up then dropping a 5-2 game to the Bishop Kearney Select. So 0-2 so far right now. And a similar story for the Calgary Cannex Bisons as they dropped a 5-2 decision to Edge after dropping a 14-4 decision to the Bishop Kearney Selects. Tried to feed it to the middle off the back skate of Jollies. Couldn't make the play towards the goal. Here comes St. George's with speed. Jaden Nee to the middle. Winds his way in. Backhander goes wide. Beautiful run from Jaden Nee, who's going to be one of our guests coming up at the intermission. Play to the right wing side at the circle. Shoots and scores! Top shelf where mama hides those cookies. The Calgary Cannex Bisons strike first here on our final game of the day. 1-0 Calgary Cannex. As a wicked wrister upstairs for Oakland Jurlick. Over the shoulder and into the top half. Beautiful shot as he gets it to go, and we've got a 1-0 game on our hands. As the Bisons get a solid early start. Looking to counter, St. George's to the near side, just out of the reach. As Haft was almost able to tip that in at the back door. Beautiful pass, nice drag move, and taken down around the outside. As the Bisons now, both teams trading some rush chances either way. Haft in on that one as Ubongan sent it out of the zone and then taken out near the puck. As that opportunity will work its way back in behind the cage for Ubongan. Ubongan gains the zone. Onside as he'll chip it off of the end wall and follow up on it. Tried to center in front, no dice. As the puck bounced off of the boards. Centered, one-timer! And a big stop there by Cohen Wood. Jolly's got all of that opportunity. Unable to get it to go past the netminder, though, who was out in good position. Good rebound control as well, with a ton of black and red jerseys lurking in the area. Off the straw, Jolly's tried to step through. It's controlled up the near side. St. George's will pass it ahead over the line. John Main back after getting some repairs. Sends it in as Norrie works it forward, held in at the line. Here's the shot by Schiebler. Down off of the end boards, Jaden Nee follows up. Round the near side half wall. Reversed in behind the goal for Norrie. Norrie, bank pass, just out of the reach of Vimy. Shot in off of the blocker of Nichols. Norrie gave it away at the line. Shot right back in again by Main. Near side, sent forward. Hill gets a big chunk of his man. As Haymore to Schiebler at the middle. Stolen away by a Bison. Jollies feeds it through off a skate. Diving play to try and knock it away from Vimy. Vimy centers, knocked away, held into the line. Left side point now for Hamill. Hamill down, one-time feed across, nobody home. Held into the right point, sends it to the goal, and it's covered up as Cohen Wood gets the glove down on top of it. As Fung, Ricky Hanna, as well as Kant, Witrikush, and Hamill will be out here for the Bisons. One back to the boards, and Fung sends it to the line. Shot by Witrikush goes wide as they'll chip it off of the boards and down to the near side. Flipped ahead. Calgary tracking back for it in a battle of BC versus Alberta, as St. George's hailing from Vancouver, while, of course, the Calgary Cannex Bisons from just down the road in southern Alberta. Here's a wrister, blocked. Glove down by Witrikush. Takes the shot off the pads of Wood. Here's a wicked one-timer off of the pads of Wood as well. Backhand stop, puck still loose, bodies falling down, and St. George's come away with the puck. Hamill keeps it alive. Ricky Hanna had it in the skates. Gets bumped for his efforts there as it's dumped in. Gambetti and Hill head off on the change as Nichols leaves it for Witrikush. Ahead for Kant. Back over far side, Davison through for Spencer Ho. Ho and Hamill come together. Here's the Enzo Draft centering feed knocked away. Near side corner. Witrikush working on Draft. Spencer Ho coming in to help out as well. Hamill looking to tie up his man against the boards. Spencer Ho goes over to pick it up. Here's Fung. Chipped it forwards. Back to Hamill, who intercepts on the bounce pass from the wall. Here's Hamill. Tries to reverse to the right wing side. Good challenge there by St. George's. Sends it off of the window. And they follow up. Davison in over the line. Controlled again by the Bisons. Jollies over the line to his right. Jollies holds, centers, near side. Wrister blocked, goes to the opposite wing. Jollies unable to jump on it. To the middle as Jollies, far side against the half wall, plays it down into the corner. Snaps it across as they'll trade places. Blue attire, a chance for St. George's. In the wing is Davison. Davison shepherded to the end boards by Ubongan. Has Jerlink in the area as well. Rogers comes over to support. Rogers sends it off the wall to the line. Schiebler through traffic, knocked down, loose, hit the post, and they score! Wessick cleans up the garbage from that far post. St. George's tie the game up at 1. As Wessick, right place, right time, that puck trickles through, and he makes sure that it finds a home in the back of the goal. It's cold outside these days. You can't let that biscuit be all alone outside. Far side of the ice as St. George's. Wessick tying up this game at 1. About 7.5 gone by in the opening frame. We've got 1 goal each side. As Wessick to the middle. Nichols able to cover up on that one. As Haft, contact against the netminder, drawing a bit of ire from a couple of the players. As Nichols reacted to try and get to that puck as it trickled past him, which put him out of position to stop the opportunity from Wessick. Just unfortunate timing on that one. Comes down to the near side corner, tried to play it in behind the goal. Haft coming together with Norrie. Two of them will come together as Norrie gets a couple of licks in. Spins onto the backhand, does Jollies. Pokes it forward, far side, tried to send it up the wall. As Jollies and Norrie in the area. Pinned against the wall was Vimy. Luca Rogers outside the pile. Haft still battling against the boards. Wins it to Rogers. He'll send it back into the corner for Haft. Sends him against the wall. There's St. George's. They'll play it against the far side boards. And in it goes off of the wall. Vimy can't get it clear. Turnover in the slot. Hill to his backhand. Back to the line. John Main wide of the goal. Rebound as Gambetti taken down right in front of the blue paint. Feed over to Jollies. Off the benches near side. He'll poke that one into the attacking zone. Back for it. As Schiebler taken out against the wall. Held in by Hamill. Takes a shot wide of the cage. Went low to the ice. Far side wall. They poke it forward. As they follow up on it, far side wall as Knee, a backhander to the middle, taken down hard, coming around, here's Knee, stopped by Nichols. Far side, St. George's shot, Nichols the save, and Hill going to be shoved out of the way of the netminder. A little bit of a discussion after the play. The officials all having their say as the referee going to tell Hill to knock it off. Doesn't need to be going and standing right next to the netminder for no reason. Drawing the ire of the defense. Again, nothing wrong with a little bit of mind games. Got to make sure that you know where the line in the sand is drawn, though. Ricky Hanna off the draw, goes back to the line. Shot through traffic, wide of the goal. Enzo Drath, far side, plays it to the corner. As they'll work their way. Drath taken down against the wall. Ricky Hanna in there as well. As the Bisons throw it forwards. Right wing side for Fung. Trying to work his way through. Turned over, sent to the line, give it away. Hamill the shot off the post. Listen to that steal sing. As that one echoing throughout the Dale Fisher Arena here in Devon. 10:23 remaining, a 1-1 hockey game in the first period. That one pumped off of the iron from the left wing side. Face off, left wing from our perspective. As Norrie gets set at the line, St. George's will play it around and behind the cage. Tipping it out towards center. Haft plays it for Rogers. Luca Rogers in. And that one's off of the window. Lands back down on the ice. Rogers back to the line. Here's the shot by Thomas, down low. Wessick and Norrie come together. Rogers around the far side. As the battle continues there, they'll work their way back and forth as Ubongan. Coming around, it goes to the near side. Over halfway gone by here in the first period. Back to the line. St. George's fires over top of the goal. Tried to knock it through. Haft, no good. As Haymore. That one backhanded over to the near side. Ubongan over to the right wing side. The backhander goes off of the wall. Followed up and then played it to himself off of the boards. As Carragher tries to send that one back down low. Meets a bunch of resistance as Carragher, his opportunity snuffed out by St. George's. Chasing after it, Matchin. As Hill got a piece of it. Centering pass, knee, turns, fires. Nichols the save. Puck is loose. As then Constant able to play it off of Gambetti in front as he was falling down. It stays out. Back it goes down low. Tried to find Jaden Knee. Knee to the near side as Gamble goes to meet him. Knee to the line. John Main shoots. Tipped wide. Novak McNevin. Right wing. Trying to barge his way through. Schiebler can't do it. Main will fire it off of the window to reverse to the near side. Knee helps it the rest of the way. Hill into the neutral zone. That one will end up in the benches as we get a stoppage of play with 8:29 remaining. Here, first period action. As Vimy, Jollies, and Haymore coming out. Spencer Ho present alongside Schiebler. As well, Enzo Drath and company. As John Main still out there. As Norrie and Ho, the two of them, a little bit of pushing and shoving at the beginning of the play. Centering pass. Here's Norrie with a shot into the glove of Wood. That one might have actually tagged him in the mask as well. As 8:16 remains. Netminder using their noggin. Obviously, you want to be able to use any part of your body to make that save, but that's always going to sting a little bit if that biscuit rings off your bell. At the line now, Haymore will put it around and down low in behind the cage. As Jolly's off the near side wall, they're going to play it forward. An opportunity here as they'll work their way back to the defensive end. Witrikush plays it around to Norrie, just escapes the zone. It's offside as it was shot back in and hit one of the players inside the zone. St. George's is again Bingo Zhao. We're number 26 in this contest. So the face-off, far wing side, just outside the blue line. It'll trickle back into Bison territory. Matchin going after it as he'll play it off of the wall. Tip to the middle as they knock it off of the boards. Haft sends it off a skate. It'll come out the near side as Norrie sends it forward. They'll chip that one ahead as it lands off of the end wall. Here's Thomas into the corner now. Backhander in behind the cage. Kent going after it. Tried to center it up the middle. Picked off as St. George's build pace. Attacking his Knee on the outside. Knee taken into the end wall. A heavy physical play by Loeffler. As Loeffler comes away with the puck, he'll play it on the left wing side. Kent to the middle. Missed Fung. He'll work over the far side. Played off of the boards. An opportunity off of the wall. Played to the middle as Ubongan cuts up the near side. Chips it off the wall. As Carragher, right wing side, works his way through. As Carragher pass ahead. Gets a hit from John Main. As they'll turn around and send that one into Bison territory. Here's Ubongan with it again. Bisons with a lot of the puck possession, but it's been mostly in their half of center. The breakout shut down well. Now here's a chance, 2-on-1. Right wing, Bisons rip one. Pad save by Wood. Here's the follow-up. Another save by Wood. Tie game at 1, and it stays that way as Cohen Wood, a pair of big stops to keep things square. Gets a little tap there from his defender. Rightfully so. Got to make sure you pay your respects to the netminder, one of the, if not the most important position out there on the ice. All the goalie parents out there are going to be super excited to have heard that on the broadcast. As St. George's play this one forwards as they chip and chase. Bisons tracking back for it. Witrikush and Rogers cross paths. There's Wessick. Up the wall. Rogers shoved off of the puck. Then chipped forward by Hamill. Has Haymore to his left. Haymore the backhander, then took the contact. Heavy physical play. That's going to bring over another Bison who threw a couple of shots. Both of these teams, the physicality finding another gear early on. Haymore a chance on the right wing. Tried to dangle to the middle. No good. It was taken away. Out of the reach of Witrikush. Icing was indicated. So they'll go back for it. Witrikush tried to make the play on it, so no issues there. 5:34 remaining. As the Calgary Cannex Bisons again looking to slowly but surely steady the ship. Of course, they had that unfortunate opening game against the Bishop Kearney Selects. And now a solid showing against Edge. Of course, the score, I believe 5-2 it was for Edge, but still a very good game, end-to-end action. And a lot of posts hit in that one as well, too, where it could have been a different story had a few more of those gone in. Norrie will chip it down ice. That will be iced. So it comes on down with 5:12 remaining into Calgary territory. And, of course, for St. George's as well, too, trying to right the ship after a couple of frustrating games, and now the opportunity to try and improve their record and solidify their spot on semi-final Saturday. Quick shot on Nichols, who will hold on for safekeeping. So again, we look back once again at the preview that got these teams here. St. George's dropping a 6-3 game to Edge. And then earlier today, a tough one against Bishop Kearney. They lost 5-2. Then, as we mentioned, for the Calgary Cannex Bisons, they had the 14-4 game against Bishop. Through traffic, tipped off of Nichols and comes to the near side. And then they had the game earlier today against Edge that they dropped 5-2. Now they're in a 1-1 barn burner so far here through the first period. Jollies to the right wing. Here's Vimy. Vimy powering in, takes the shot, stopped, rebound, cleared away. As Haymore turns around to face the incoming threat, here's a 2-on-1. Near side, knee across, broken up by Norrie. Good stick by Norrie as they had a man going right down Main Street, and knee was looking to set him up. That'll hit one of the banners up on the roof. Again, there's a ton of them here. Lots of storied history in the Devon community for hockey. Of course, just within the last few years, the Shane Zender rink being added in. Relative to this rink, it's to the broadcast right. This, though, the Dale Fisher, the OG rink in the building. Got that old school feel. Stopping up in the corner. As the contact continues, the two teams, physicality finding its way into the game. Shift by shift, minute by minute. Ricky Hanna pinning his man against the boards, and then the two players will come together as the Calgary Cannex Bisons pushing and shoving, and a couple of St. George's players end up on the bottom of the pile as the result. As play blown down as the puck was frozen underneath the players on the ice. As a result, we get to reset in the Bison zone. Fung, Kant, Ubongan. Ricky Hanna. The far side will be Loeffler. Loeffler. Left wing side, Kant working ahead. Good work by Nee to recover on the back check, and it's knocked in by Gambetti. Ubongan, fan to the backhander, goes back for it. He's taken into the wall by Hill. Another heavy physical check by Gambetti. Centering pass on the backhand goes wide. Here's Hill. Hill on the backhand, cycles it deep for Knee. He'll come around to the near side under pressure by Ricky Hanna. Reverse to the opposite side as Loeffler will chase it down, pokes it ahead up the wall, to the middle, out of the reach, turned over as Hill. Ubongan all over him, trying to shut down the opportunity. Had the stick in the midsection. Gambetti steps in between his man. Rister off the post! Nichols got a piece of it and directed it to that far side post. Hockey is a game of inches. Can't. Nice move. Broken up by the defense. Works to get it back, though. Kent will shoot that one deep into the zone. As it fires around up at the far side is Wessick to the line. A couple of hacks at it as they try and work it down in that corner. Played off of the wall, over to the near side, as they'll chip off the skate of a St. George's player, and they bring it to neutral territory. Pulled through onto the forehand. Sent across the zone from left to right. In over the red, dumped forward, tried to spring him in behind the defense, and the stick gets in the shooting lane, and that'll tip the puck out of play. 2:34 now left in the opening frame. One thing that's been a consistency for the St. George's squad, at least early in this game, has been their ability to get sticks in the shooting lanes. Not quitting on any opportunities and doing whatever they can to try and at least get some form of lumber in between the offensive player and their netminder. With how good Cohen Wood has been as well, too. They've been benefiting from that in the opening frame. A lot of good opportunities that have been stymied. And on the other side, been a lot of puck possession time and good defensive zone control on the breakout for the Bisons. To the middle, the one-timer by Jolly's kicked out. Played to the far side corner. As the Bisons, can they get it back to the line? Battle continues against the half wall. Held in by Witcherkish. As Witcherkish digging away at this one, trying to keep it alive. Couple of St. George's players there to try and have their say in the conversation. Jolly's at the line. Feeds it to the middle. Rister fought off by Wood. Is swinging to miss on the one-timer at that near post. Played to the middle. Oh, just about within the wheelhouse of Wessick. Wessick and Witcherkish come together. Backhand play. Hamill tried to spin onto his other side. 1:32. As the contact against the near side wall. 3 black jerseys, 2 white jerseys. They'll play a defensive 3 wide up high in the zone as now they backtrack. Speed on the right wing for Novak McNevin. Leaves the puck behind. Witcherkish off of the wall. Comes over, settled down at the line. A backhander off of the wall as they chip it ahead. Here's a look. Snapped off of the stick. Goes wide. Tried to shovel it. Nichols found it with a glove. A rebound goes to Novak McNevin. He'll battle on that far side. Shoves Hill off of himself. As then that one goes wide of the cage. Down to 47 seconds left in the opening period here between the Cannex Bisons and St. George's Prep. Tried to glove it down. Rogers to the front of the goal. Puck is still loose as then Nichols able to get the cover. Good work by the Bisons defense to just kind of build a wall between St. George's and the netminder there. Able to sweep it within range for Nichols to cover up on top of, but Davison and company hungry for those rebounds. Off the draw. Puck will be played in behind the cage and out the far side as Norrie trying to muscle his man away from the puck. Haft battling against the wall. Or pardon me. Oh, yes, it was Haft. It'll come left wing side. Played out the other direction. Following up is Jolly's. Jolly's on the backhand. Down to 20 seconds. Just under left in this first period. Centering pass. Broken up. Taken away. And a bank feed. Here comes St. George's. Haft on the near wing. Haft, nice move, but couldn't get it around Loeffler. Loeffler with Haymore ahead of him on the left. Shoots that one as the buzzer goes. 1-1. Your score through 20 minutes as St. George's and the Calgary Cannex Bisons able to come away with an even footing through 20. We have a quick double check here of what got us to this point. Oakland Jerlink with a beautiful goal upstairs, and then Theo Wessick answering back with the rebound goal on the other end of the rink and that is how we have ourselves a 1-1 game. Welcome back into the Crow's Nest up in the corner. It's the broadcast area from Dale Fisher and Ian Wilson with you on behalf of the wonderful broadcast crew of Trickshot, sports production that does not miss. Happy to have you with us wherever you find us from, as this action continues to be fast and furious, end to end, all day, every day at the Canadian Crown. What more can you expect at this point? It's the U15 Elite, as some of the best and brightest in U15 from across North America have gathered in Devon, Alberta on a frigid Alberta weekend. They've come indoors. The snow is falling outside. It's a holly jolly holiday season, but that means that it is time for hockey to be heating up indoors. And that's exactly what this action has been. Hot. Both of these teams showcasing the best of what they're made of in that opening frame. And of course, the 1-1 game through 20 minutes, as that beautiful shot by Jerlink got us started before St. George's battle back and tie it up on a fantastic effort where Wessick finds it on the rebound and chips it home. Go to the tough areas and you shall be rewarded. And of course, prior to the game, we've got a new slate of interviews. We caught up with Jad Haymore on the side of Calgary, as well as Jaden Nee on the side of St. George's. So let's hear what they had to say prior to this contest here at Dale Fisher. Nee from St. George's Prep ahead of their contest against the Calgary Cannex Bisons. Jaden, congratulations so far on your guys' efforts in this tournament. It's been an exciting time. First and foremost, how was the travel out here to Alberta for you guys coming out from St. George's?
Oh, it's pretty fun travel.
Yeah.
First all we come here, it's pretty cold. It's snowing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Edmonton's a pretty good city.
Yeah, it's about -20 out there right now and snowing. So obviously it's cold out on the ice, but it's even colder outside. So that means it's a good day to play hockey. You had a pretty wicked goal yesterday. Two of them. You got a power play goal and a shorthanded goal in the same game. Walk us through how that feels.
Feels pretty good. Thanks my teammate gave me pretty good pass in the power play, and I just shoot it and scored.
100%. For you, how would you describe St. George's hockey to us? If somebody's tuning in, they haven't had the chance to see you guys play much before, how would you describe how you guys play your game?
We compete really hard every game. We play every shift like a last shift. We move the puck pretty good, and we never gave up.
100%. Last thing I got for you, what is one of your favorite parts of the sport? What is one thing that keeps you motivated to keep developing in hockey?
Probably score.
Probably scoring goals.
Yep.
I'm sure those guys in the locker room don't hurt either. You guys have had a pretty tight-knit group so far. 100%. Last thing as well, give us a quick message for the fans before this big game for St. George's.
Let's go, Sins!
Let's go. All right, thank you very much, Jaden. Good luck in your game. How's it going, Canadian Crown fans? Ian Wilson alongside Jad Haymore from the Calgary Cannex Bisons ahead of their contest to finish off the round robin here at the U15 Elite. Jad, how you doing so far this tournament? You had a pretty wicked goal earlier today on Howitzer from the slot.
Yeah, it's good. Obviously some struggles with wins, but I think we have the chance to come out with one this game, so try to get the dub this game.
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. I mean, these tournaments, some bragging rights on the line, but at the end of the day, it's a chance to bond with the guys in the locker room and again, develop your guys' game. If you had to describe that to me, what would you describe for people that maybe haven't had the chance to see the Bisons play yet? How would you describe Bisons hockey?
I think we play a fast style of game, and we're really aggressive.
Yeah. For you, what are some of your earliest memories in hockey? How long have you been playing the sport for?
Things like since I've been like 4, I think.
About 4 years old?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. And how would you say, have you always been a forward, or how has it evolved through time?
I've always been a forward, yeah.
What's one of your favorite parts of the sport? What's something about the game that gets you fired up like nothing else?
Obviously, all my buddies and scoring goals.
100%. Well, I appreciate that, man. Give us a quick message for the fans back home.
Let's go Bisons.
Let's go Bisons. Appreciate you, man. Good luck in your game today.
Appreciate it.
Elevator, but the ranks on the way with the fleet. Take a seat and stay out of reach. Word is mine, I ain't claiming a piece. Throne is mine, but I stay on my feet. Locked and loaded, I pray that you get low. If you rollin', I pray you don't get cold. Is you ready for war, my brother? Is you ready for war, my brother? Backing up.
Quick shot, scored!
and I'm picking the litter. I'ma spend a whole bag, I'm still getting rich. Really it figures, life's the bitch, now I'm intimate with it. Got hunger, but I'm skipping the dinner to give him the picture. Get him my gold, they ain't giving the silver. They ain't really the winners long as you still in the mix. That's a real bad luck, brother. Now I got them all shook, brother. I ain't playing by the book, brother. They'll be reading what it took, brother. Soon enough we'll be understood, brother. Started doing everything I could, now I'm doing what you can in case you mistook. Place with grace, but I can't stay put. I'm made to be self-made and make way with the fleet. Take a seat or stay out of reach. Word is mine, I ain't claiming a piece. Throne is mine, but I stay on my feet. Locked and loaded, I pray that you get low. If you roll it, I pray you don't get cold. Is you ready for war, my brother? Is you ready for war, my brother?
Backing up.
Here's a look that gets denied on the way through, as of course we nearly get caught flat-footed once again. These teams like to find opportunities within the first 10 seconds without fail. Another one from the near side, block it away, they score! Less than a minute in. Welcome to the second period as Calgary restore a 2-1 lead. The Bisons denied the first time, not to be sent packing twice. Shot blocked away, but the juicy rebound goes right to Jollies. Two, 1 is the score as the Calgary Cannex Bisons looking to restore a sense of control in this game as they come away with the advantage courtesy of that rebound effort by Jollies. They'll play it off of the boards and sent back around in behind the cage. Over to the near side as they play it forwards. Nice poke by Bingo Zhao. Taken down on the play there as Gambetti lost his glove. He'll have to head to the bench. Loeffler centering feed denied by Cohen Wood. As Gamble now, the backhander down below and around the near side. Zhao will send it over to the far wing. They'll play it around near side as they poke it through. As Jollies, far side, has a blocker save, and they score on the rebound! Chad Haymore finds his way to that loose puck and introduces it to the back of the goal. That's 2 in quick succession as the Bisons are rolling here in the second period. 2 rebound goals have them at a 2-goal advantage. Well, talking about being able to generate control in this game that saw these teams trading blows back and forth, the Cannex Bisons have done exactly that. St. George's now, can they stop the bleeding, or will the Bisons continue to roll? Gave it away up high. Or rather, it was the pass to Jollies, came from another Bison. Haymore leaves it left side, takes the shot, tipped wide. As Ho will chip it, Jollies takes it away. Jollies takes the shot, in, loose puck rebound, cleared away. As rebound control's been the thing hurting St. George's right now. Both from the defense, clearing out the attacking players, and from Wood. As, of course, that initial goal by Jollies was a juicy blocker rebound with nobody home. Feeds it through, just out of the reach of a lunging Fung. Luca Rogers off of the wall, as that one will be sent into the bench. There was a player that came out. There was briefly too many men on the ice for the Bisons, but they jumped into the open door to get off of the ice. And that's where the puck went. So 17-26. We got the second period upon us here. It's our 4th and final game of the day. As Rogers will feed it to the right. Here's Lesk. Lesk gains the line. Shoots that one in off of the end boards as they'll chip it around that far side corner. Bank to the line as Lesk nearly able to hold it in, but now they're forced to tag. Bisons gain the blue line, far side, holding on to this one as they'll battle against the far wall. Kant tried to center, couldn't do it, gets it out to the middle of the slot. Wessick feeds it right wing for Haft. Haft gains the line, dumps it in as Nichols will just hold on to that one for safekeeping. Shots 14-13 in favor of the Bisons. A 2-goal explosion here at the tail end of this, well, beginning, I should say, of this second period, the tail end of this day. Day number 2 of the Canadian Crown as we roll along into our final competition of this second day. Happy Friday. Hope your week has served you well. As the final game on the schedule for Fisher today. Awkward play there as the Bison fell over and headbutted the Georges player on the way down. 5 players involved in the rugby scrum against the wall. Puck goes the way of the Bisons. Out of their own zone to the near side. As the Bisons to the near side, centering feed, poked away. As a penalty coming here. I was wondering why play had stopped. It was a slashing call. And it looks like it's going against Gambetti, so play was stopped as soon as it hit the blocker of Cohen Wood. Gambetti comes away with a trip to the sin bin. And the Bisons now up by 2, a chance to make it 4-1. Power play here for Calgary as they warm it up around the outside. Here's the wrister, fought off by Wood, got it with the side of the mask and the shoulder. Cleared down the other direction. As now the Calgary Cannex Bisons searching for their first win, as are St. George's. Both of these teams could definitely benefit from coming away with the advantage at the end of this 60 minutes. Jerling towards the line, poked forward by Nee. He'll chase after it. Jaden Nee around the outside, trying to cut hard towards the goal, shoveled it in front, and the puck went in behind the cage. Bisons recover. They'll try and work their way up ice this time. Can they do it cleanly? They get onside. A little bit of a bump there in transition as it goes around to the opposite wing. Jollies to the center point. Double clutched it did Hamill. He'll go to Haymore. Haymore to Hamill, far side. And a one-time feed. Haymore lets it go, and it's kicked to the near side. Haymore back up high. Feeds it over far side. Bisons loading it up again. Haymore, 2 jerseys in his area. He'll put it over to the opposite side. Here's Jollies. Over it goes as Hamill will put that one back into the zone, but of course Haymore and company had to retreat and recover. So Hamill down in behind the cage. Slows things up here for the Bisons, down to 30 seconds on the power play. They'll play it into the corner. Drops it back, and they'll wind their way up across the red, across the blue, splits the difference, but they'll be offside. So Ricky Hanna, 1 stride too quick on that far wing. Down to 16 seconds on the power play. An opportunity for these teams to show what they're made of here at the end of this long, hard-fought round robin. This is the final game of round robin play over on Dale Fisher. Of course, we still got 1 game after this. Of course, there's 1 game going on right now over on Zender. That starts at around 5 o'clock. And then after that, it was the opportunity to reschedule that Illinois game that was supposed to be yesterday, as it's Illinois CIHA set to go over on Zender at 7:30. Shot up over top of the cage. Works its way down far side. As Thomas, contact there. They'll try and knock this one forward as Gambetti plays it off of the far side wall. Tried to chip it ahead. There's Thomas. Working their way down is Norrie into his own zone. Under pressure by Davison. Good pressure there as well, too, by Jaden Nee. Levies a check and takes his man off his feet. Contact on the way out of the zone. Wessick will be able to deposit off of the wall and back in to Bison territory. Nee, a backhander, works its way all the way to the opposite side wall. Knocked down, fired, and off the skates. Backhander sets up his man as Gamble. Gamble into the zone, taken away as Wessick tried to fire towards the benches, maybe catch too many men on the ice for the Bisons. It'll go back into St. George's territory. Bingo Zhao. Far side. As Zhao puts it on the wall. Nee. Out it goes. Loeffler in it, turns in his own zone. Pass ahead. into the attacking territory. Bingo Zhao stands up his man as Lesk will take control of the puck. Throws it to the near side. That one's rippling the twine, but not the one they're hoping for, as Davison puts that onto the safety netting up out of play. 12:44. As St. George's, again, they were within shouting distance. It was a 1-1 game, and now all of a sudden, Calgary in the early stages of this period taking command with 2 quick goals within the first 90 seconds. The reset button has been hit. St. George's have recovered their footing, but now they need to get back on the score sheet. 2 goals is the hole right now to climb out of. Off the end wall as Lesk, the far side, a heavy check on Haft against the boards, and the arm stays down from the official. As Haft was hammered on the numbers, took a bounce against the boards. Play will stay down in St. George's territory. Haft will be all right as he picks himself back up. Asking the question of the official of why that wasn't called, seemed to be subdued by the result of the discussion. Haft will go after it. He gets a little bit of payback there on Haymore. As Vimy knocks it down, Davison ahead to Haft. As Haymore now tracks back at his own blue line. Tries to feed it across. Tracking forward as Jolly's tracking back. Here's a look. Rounded behind the cage is Jolly's. Puck in the corner. St. George's on the attack. Looking to feed it back up the wall. Holds it in. Right side blue line feed. Main the shot and a save by Nichols. Uses the glove to pinch it against his chest. (16-14) the shots on goal. 12 minutes remaining in the second period. Both teams looking for their first win of the Canadian Crown. So obviously one side, that 0 in the win column, is going to change one way or the other come the conclusion of this 60-minute game. Shot fired wide off of the draw, comes out to the point, held in. They'll shoot it around in behind the cage out the other side. Following up, tried to knock it forwards as St. George's marched down to the bottom of the circle, knocked away. As the defense headed to the near side, Schiebler pinching in, able to knock it forward as Hill spins off of the contact. As they'll look the other direction. Stopping up, tried to pull it through, no dice. As the contact against the wall, they'll chip it off the board. St. George's reverses to Schiebler on the left wing. Pass up the middle, missed, and it will be iced. So St. George is going to be dragged all the way back into their own zone. As John Main having a quick discussion. Very amicable with Cohen Wood. And they haven't been stuck out here for too long in this current configuration. So time to dig into their own territory and see if they can come away with this puck. Played to the near side corner for Schiebler. He'll backhand it over to Main. Jollies. What a day it's been here. As Hill pins him against the board. Here's an opportunity. Stopped up and tried the other direction. Carragher loading. No good as it's hammered off of the wall and reversed to the near side. Good stick lift by Jollies. Centering feed poked away by Hill. Enzo Drath to the right wing side knee. Lost control of it as Jollies got it on the back check. Here's a look on the far wing. One time to cross. Jollies between the legs into the zone. Dropped it back. Here's Carragher. The shot wide of the goal. Carragher wins the puck battle in behind the cage. Luca Rogers in there as well. All the bodies coming together against the end wall. Main gets involved. It's tangled up with a player as they'll separate. Puck working its way down ice. Icing was waved off as they send it around to that right wing side. Stopped up. They'll shoot it across. Jollies. As they try and shoot, no dice. Jollies with it again. Feeds it over. Spinning onto the backhand. The Bisons. Snap pass broken up. They were calling for it was Jollies at the opposite line. Now Jerlink will get the appreciation of his bench for that one. Here's Wessick. Tried a backhander. Was fought off by the shoulder of Nichols. Rounded behind the cage. Now the other side. Spinning against the boards. Jerlink trying to clear it out of the zone. Then sent right back in. Hit the lines official. Wessick pinned against the wall. About 6 players in the local vicinity trying to come away with this puck. It'll go to the Bisons. They poke it past Thomas. Thomas recovers, though. Wins that one away from Novak McNevin. Right wing side for Hill. Tried to poke it ahead. Knocked back is Novak McNevin. Dumps it into the zone. Thomas, good play to hook it off the wall. Novak McNevin to the middle. One hand on the stick, knocked away. Thomas looking to recover as it goes to that far side. Backhander forward, glove down. We're down to 9 minutes and spare change left in this second period. As Nichols tried to get the blocker hand on it. It's in behind the cage. Off the side of the goal. Puck still loose here. Off the side of the goal again. Player dumped in front of Nichols. They'll get themselves sorted as the Bisons tried the drag move. Bingo Zhao not going to allow it. Lesk goes back for the puck. Witrikush joined the rush. Now Lesk is going to do the same the other way. Good poke by Gamble. Knocked it away. Now Gambetti sends it to the middle. Played back into St. George's territory. Bingo Zhao on the right wing side. He'll play it off of the boards. Sends off of the wall. At the red line, pass forward. Just a bit too hot to handle for Jollies. Jollies, nice pivot off of the wall. Toes the line. Feeds it down low. As Haymore was spilled in front, centering feed all the way out to Jollies on the opposite side. Jollies to the middle. Haymore stopped by Wood. Rebound cleared to the middle as Davison. A penalty coming up here. As the conversation will continue after the whistle goes. Who is this initially going to be called on? The referee blowing play down for a penalty call. Seems like it's Bingo Zhao. We'll see here on the replay the battle in front as Bingo Zhao had taken down Haymore. The arm was up, so I'm going to assume that it was that takedown on Haymore in front as the arm went up from the official. As Rogers going to go up against Fung for the face-off on the near side, down to 8:03 remaining. St. George's shorthanded. Jaden Nee will be able to send that one all the way down the other direction. As the Bisons will play it up that far side. Pass to the middle on the money. Novak McNevin in to the outside. Tried to cut in, and a sharp angle feed goes off the blocker and wide. Pinching on the far side. Gamble holds. Gave it away to Lesk, who tried to spring knee, and he'll head off on the change. Norrie back for it for Calgary as the Cannex Bisons enjoying a 2-goal lead right now. Here's Hamill. Hamill will play it over far side as Norrie under pressure. Davison hounding him as he'll play it across off the near wall. Played up the near side in transition, hooked back. Bison's patience paying off there, but they gave it away in the corner. Hacked off the wall by Hill. It goes down the other direction. As under 7 minutes to go here in this second period. 50 seconds on the power play. The Bisons work their way out of their own zone. Gain the red, gain the blue. Haymore around the outside. Haymore shoved down by Lesk. Coming away with it is Jerlink. Jerlink to the line. They'll chip that one, did Jollies. Now Hill with it. Runs into resistance as Jerlink and Ricky Hanna combine to come away with the puck. Held in the line. Here's Lawler. Shot into Wood, who holds on. Loeffler, a good opportunity from distance. Some traffic forming in front. Credit to St. George's for clearing out the shooting lanes. As John Main and company able to keep the lanes clear. Cohen Wood has stopped just about everything he's been able to see. Another opportunity on the near side as Nee will be back out for this shorthanded shift. Won it forward, then overskated it. Haymore also back out now on the power play. As Haymore gets it to the opposite side. Looking, that's off a skate, deflects to the near side half wall. As Haft gets the steal, sends it down ice. And that will do it. Bingo Zhao is out of the box. And the power play is over. Good penalty kill by the St. George's side. Loeffler off of the wall. A chance to jump in on it was Haft. Here's the snapshot off of the legs. Rebound hammered off of Loeffler, and he'll turn it aside. As that one ricochets up and out of play. Still a 3-1 hockey game with 5:42 remaining here in the second period. Thanks for joining us so far here at the U15 Elite Canadian Crowd. As the fans settled in, enjoying those wonderful heaters over on the far side. Again, it is a frigid Friday night in Edmonton. The Great White North showcasing its true grit with the weather outside here. Of course, lots of snow, though, and not a whole lot of slush, so the nice powdery stuff that people enjoy during the holiday season. Here's Kant on the far side. Tried to work it through. Wessick shuts down the opportunity, and he'll shoot it off of the end boards deeper into offensive territory. Bisons off of the wall as they send it to the opposite side. They play it off of the boards as Davison, a backhander, gloved down deep in the zone by the Bisons. Bisons play it ahead to Kant. Kant, a backhander, as he'll play it off the wall. And Thomas puts it on the stick of Hamill. Hamill played it off of the wall. As the backhander through, they'll chip it forward, and contact there that causes the penalty call here. As the arm goes up from the official, thinking it's either going to be interference or a blindside charge. Let's see, it was John Main who came away with the penalty. Let's see, what's the signal on this one? It is indeed going to be a blindside charge on the call. So we'll see here another angle of it. As again came in from the offside and no chance for the player to see him coming, and a couple of strides leading up to it. So 4:44 remaining. The St. George's faithful are not happy about it in the stands. But when is a team ever happy when a penalty gets called against them? The official having a discussion with the St. George's coaches. As Hill going to take a draw against Jerlink. Another shorthanded effort here. A drop of the puck, and it'll go back to the line. Too hot to handle, though, for Loeffler. As the Bisons still up by 2 here. They got the 2 goals within the first 90 seconds, and it's been all quiet on the goal-scoring front ever since. Jerlink. As that puck will be shot out the other direction, all the way down off of the end boards. Nichols will leave it in behind the cage as the Bisons, over 30 seconds gone by on their power play. See if they can find a way to manage here and come away with a bit extra. Coming around near side. Shot over the window, gloved, but it goes down. Jollies goes back for it. Nichols will settle it down to behind the cage. 1-shot differential here, 20-19 in favor of the Bisons. They hold the 2-goal advantage. Bisons into the zone. Ricky Hanna across. Jollies with Lesk watching. Aggressive play by Haft as they dump it down low. Haymore looking to come after this one. He and Thomas come together. That puck will end up against the end wall. Plays it over far side as Jolly's coming together with his man. And cleared by Luca Rogers. All the way down to Nichols, and under 40 seconds now left on the power play. Bisons unsuccessful so far with the man advantage as they look to try and get their lead increased to 3. 3-1 is your score. Haymore over to the far side. Bisons circling the wagons, tried to tip it towards the middle. Norrie and Schiebler come together. They play it up the boards. Then Rogers sends it the rest of the way. As back for it goes Hamill. Hamill in behind the cage. One last rush. Although the power play now expired, they do have the advantage in behind the play. Novak McNevin centers. Schiebler got a stick to it. Comes away with it. Gets it to Hill, who chips and chases off of the wall. Norrie, the first one to it. Run over by Hill. as that puck will work its way all the way back to St. George's territory. Novak McNevin far side, hit by knee, puck to the middle, goes to Schiebler. Backhander off of the wall, glove down at the far side, sent in behind the cage. Thomas first to it. Water bottle got popped there somehow, lands on the backside of the cage. As Novak McNevin, now the water bottle loose, it's joining the fray. As it'll work its way around to the far wing, held into the point. Shot off of the boards, coming around near side. There's Schiebler coming together. As Hill will put it to the far side. Fung and Knee come together. Shot high into the glove of Wood. Again, that water bottle ending up over in the corner as the official will be so kind as to bring that back over to Wood. Rogers, Davison, Zhao, Wessick, and Lesk going up against Vimy, as well as Carragher. Far side, little snapshot there, made its way through traffic. As it's cleared off of the boards, Constant out there for the Bisons, alongside Loeffler. Over at the opposite blue line, like that is going to be Ubongan. Here's Davison, working their way out the other direction, gets that one for St. George's. The backhander, nobody home, is Constant. Forward, the Bisons will tip it ahead. Shot off of a stick to the near side. Lesk coming together with Vimy. St. George's looking to find some consistent offensive zone time. Have not had a lot of that here in this second period. Bingo Zhao gets to the puck as it's tipped off of the back wall around to the near side. A look here in the corner. Centering feed by Kent. Davison will take it away. Two defense are back. Davison to his left. He'll take the shot. And that one goes wide as Nichols tried to glove it. He missed it. Final minute down to about 46 seconds. In over the line. Looking to the far side. Tried to work his way around. Kent muscling his way down low. Able to sweep that one to the far side. And then coming together with John Main and another St. George's player is now the arm up. As holding is going to be the call. And I believe it is going to go against Kent, as he did not let go after grabbing on to the St. George's players. So with 27.5, it's now a power play for St. George's. If they can come away with a goal, they cut the lead to 1 and get a bit of momentum heading into the locker room. If not, they will carry about a minute 32 and a half into that third period, which we've seen how important the first 30 seconds of these periods have been. I don't know what it is about today here on Dale Fisher, but there's been a lot of quick strike offense. Play goes back to the line across right wing side. Here's a look, the shot, and the save by Nichols. Holds on to that one for safekeeping, as we're now down to 9.5 remaining here. Second period action, 3-1 for the Calgary Cannex Bisons. I was going to say the Calgary Cannex Bulls. That was their U17 complement. Face off, one back to the far side corner. Battle continues for it as we're ticking the time down. 4 seconds remaining. A couple extra pushes and shoves there as the players tangled together. 1:34 remaining on the power play. So again, that vast majority going to carry over into the next frame. Listed as 1.3 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure if a few seconds ticked by after it stopped or what. Doesn't appear that they are going to add anything on as we get ever so closer to the opportunity at an intermission. Just swipe through on a backhander, and they're going to wave the near side out. I'm thinking they're going to have to put some time back up on the clock here, as they had 1.3. Now they've got 1.3. As off of the reset, that'll get through to Nichols, and that will do it for the second period. So 3-1 is your score through 40 minutes as the Calgary Cannex Bisons come away with 2 goals in the first 90 seconds of this second period. And that is the difference maker. They now lead by 2, 3-1, heading into the second intermission. As we turn around and turn our attention into the Crow's Nest in the corner. Welcome into Dale Fisher Arena here at the GFL Twin Arenas in beautiful Devon, Alberta. Ian Wilson with you on behalf of the incredible broadcast crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. Honored and privileged to be the crew to bring this tournament to you. Obviously, not everybody can always be at every single game that their loved one plays, especially when you go to these travel tournaments. So thank you for tuning in and being a part of this with us here. It's a 3-1 hockey game. And of course, you know what they always say, and obviously going to be much chagrin to the Bisons fans out there. 2-goal lead, one of the worst leads in hockey. As if you get that goal to bring it back within 1, there is a lot of momentum to be had. And we'll see if that's exactly what the doctor ordered for this St. George's side. They know what is at stake, and especially they have a power play to start out this third period. We know how important those first minute and a half to 90 seconds can be in a hockey game. Just look at what the Bisons did to start out the second period. They have this 3-1 lead right now because they scored 2 goals in the first 70 seconds, I think it was, into this second period. So wasting no time as these teams spend opportunities in the locker room to reset, refresh, recharge, and draw up the battle lines to see what they can do coming into a new period of play. Obviously, for the Calgary Cannex Bisons, they find 2 big rebound goals, which is something that St. George's really dialed in on throughout the rest of that second period. They did not allow a lot of those big, juicy rebounds that Calgary were able to capitalize upon in the early stages of the second. Again, Cohen Wood, a couple of those he would definitely like back, but he's made some other big saves throughout the period, as has the man over on the other side, as Nichols has been sensational as well. This game has been closely contested, and I fear that in this third period, we are nowhere near done. It is going to be an exceptional contest right to the final whistle. Let's go back and check in with our players that we chatted with prior to the contest, as again, we talked with Jaden Nee from the St. George's side and Jad Haymore from the Calgary Cannex Bisons. We'll be back in a few, but don't change that dial. The intermission show rolls along. How's it going, Canadian Crown fans? Ian Wilson alongside Jad Haymore from the Calgary Cannex Bisons ahead of their contest to finish off the round robin here at the U15 Elite. Chad, how you doing so far this tournament? You had a pretty wicked goal earlier today on Howitzer from the slot.
Yeah, it's good. Obviously some struggles with wins, but I think we have the chance to come out with one this game, so try to get the dub this game.
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. I mean, these tournaments, some bragging rights on the line, but at the end of the day, it's a chance to bond with the guys in the locker room and, again, develop your guys' game. If you had to describe that to me, what would you describe for people that maybe haven't had the chance to see the Bisons play yet? How would you describe Bisons hockey?
I think we play a fast style of game, and we're really aggressive.
Yeah. For you, what are some of your earliest memories in hockey? How long have you been playing the sport for?
Things like since I've been like 4, I think.
About 4 years old?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. How would you say, have you always been a forward, or how has it evolved through time?
I've always been a forward, yeah.
What's one of your favorite parts of the sport? What's something about the game that gets you fired up like nothing else?
Obviously, all my buddies and scoring goals.
100%. Well, I appreciate that, man. Give us a quick message for the fans back home.
Let's go Bisons.
Let's go Bisons. Appreciate you, man. Good luck in your game today.
Appreciate it.
Elevator, but the rings on the way with the fleet. Take a seat or stay out of reach. Word is mine, I ain't claiming a piece. Throne is mine, but I stay on my feet. Locked and loaded, I pray that you get low. If you rollin', I pray you don't get cold. Is you ready for war, my brother? Is you ready for war, my brother? Backing up.
Quick shot scored!
Yeah, don't ask if you thinking we different. You trash and I'm picking the litter. I'ma spend a whole bag, I'm still getting rich. Really it figures, life's a bitch, now I'm intimate with it. Got hunger, but I'm skipping the dinner to give him the picture. Get him my gold, they ain't giving the silver. They ain't really the win as long as you still in the mix. That's a real bad luck, brother. Now I got them all shook, brother. I ain't playing by the book, brother. They'll be reading what it took, brother. Soon enough they'll be understood, brother. Started doing everything I could. could, now I'm doing what you can in case you mistook. Place with grace, but I can't stay put. I'm made to be self-made to make way with the fleet. Take a seat or stay out of reach. Word is mine, I ain't claiming a piece. Throne is mine, but I stay on my feet. Locked and loaded, I pray that you get low. If you rolling, I pray you don't get cold. Is you ready for war, my brother? Is you ready for war, my brother? I'm backing, they backing up.
Welcome back inside Dale Fisher Arena here at the GFL Twin Rinks in beautiful Devon, Alberta, the home of NAX and the Devon X, the hosts of this fantastic Canadian Crown U15 tournament, as we turn our attention back to the field of play, as these two teams are back at it once again. St. George's and the Calgary Cannex Bisons. It is a 2-goal game. 3-1 your score through 40 minutes. Nice move up the middle. Whistled it wide. A great opportunity early, but could not capitalize. Now a look as Carragher unable to break free shorthanded. Knee will go back for it. Leaves it for John Main. Main stays in behind the cage. A minute left on the power play. As that penalty carrying over. That was charged to Kant on the side of the Bisons. Tip to the middle. Following up on it, lifts the stick. Rogers backhands it in front. He'll try and chip it around to the near side. A penalty coming here against the Bisons as they touch up. And with a minute gone by, we're now going to get 34 seconds of 5-on-3. Gamble is going to head to the box to sit next to Kant. As now an opportunity. Hill going to go out with Davison, Wessick, Lesk, and Haft on the far side. Norrie, Jollies, and Loeffler on the defense here. 5-on-3 for 30 seconds. Can they kill it off? As they play it down low, worked it up high, back down low again. Opportunity to send it across, broken up, and they shoot that down ice. They'll work it back around. Has Lesk at his own end. One last rush here. 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Against that far side wall. They'll chip it off of the boards and around to the near side for Haft. As Haft plays it up to the line. It's out of the box. Now back to 5-on-4 for a minute 20. An opportunity near side, plays it through. What a stop there by Nichols. Lunging across to get the denial and preserve the 2-goal lead. Sensational stuff there. Gets to the back door in time. As that puck thrown into the middle as Nichols gets the pad there first, and then just with the pivot over the stick is able to land on top of the puck. Loeffler tried to knock this one out of the way. Comes back to the line. Main. Here's Zhao. Zhao across. Gets the pass through. It's chopped away by Ubongan. Over it goes to Nee. They'll reverse back to the opposite side. Here's Main. Down low. Nee. Near side. Zhao couldn't pull the trigger. Now he does. Blockered away by Nichols. Main had that one get through the wickets, and it goes out to the neutral zone. Nee. Over to Main. As Main onto the backhand. Sends it down off of the end boards. Ubongan. Over it goes and back up to the blue line. Off the wall. As it'll come back to Gambetti. Into the near side corner. They'll work their way around as Ubongan will put it off of the wall. As Ricky Hanna and company tying him up against the wall. Nee feeds it through. Knocked away. Good stick by Loeffler. Near side as they work it around to the opposite wing. Main poked away by Ricky Hanna. Comes around the near side, and the power play is over. Back 5 aside as the Bisons protect the 2-goal lead. They survive the 5-on-3 and the extra power play after it. Knocked forward into the attacking zone, but a delayed offside. They tag up. St. George's still a 2-goal deficit right now to try and climb out from underneath. And so Nichols just covers up on that one for the face-off draw. 16:41 remains here in the third period. Our final game of the day on Dale Fisher. As Vimy, Hamill, Haymore, Jollies, and Witrikush as they'll skate up on the far side. Witrikush unable to get the shot off of the end boards to try and reverse as Nee will send it center point. Thomas Off the wall, Gambetti going after it. Witcherkush introduces him to the wall briefly as Gambetti comes away with it, gave it away at the top of the circle to Hayward. Haymore, I should say. Now Jollies back over. Haymore left wing side. Haymore takes the shot, stopped, goes to the right point, held in by Witcherkush. Off the wall, the backhander ends up in the corner. 25-22 now, the shot's in favor of St. George's. Jolly's unable to pull the trigger on the shot, gets a second chance, feeds it backhand to the goal and missed the tip, did Haymore. Reverse as Haymore finds himself with the puck in the far side corner now. Tried to play it back down low, blocked, poked ahead. Jollies to the middle, backhander, no dice as it'll come up the left wing side. They poke it forward as the puck to the red line, back into Haymore. Will track back into his own blue line area. Sends it to the attacking zone. It was tipped in, not enough legs for icing, so fresh legs coming out for the Bisons. About 5 minutes, rather more like 4.5 gone by. Here in this third period, still a 2-goal lead for Calgary Cannex. As Loeffler to the near wing, a backhander, goes towards the middle. Opportunity now for Kant. Kant to the left wing side, working his way through. Contact against the wall as he sends a backhander over to the opposite wing. Slowing it up, Enzo Drath. Drath off of the boards as they chip it to the middle. Spencer Ho, then knocked forward by Davison. Here's Nichols as he'll shoot to the near side. Loeffler now, but Davison in hot pursuit, throws it off a skate. Here it is in the neutral zone. Kant on the left wing side. Kant tries to work his way around the incoming body. Backhander around the boards, and around it goes far side. Over it goes again off a stick just out of the reach of the follow-up of Davidson. He and Ubongan come together. As Maine goes across far side in his own zone under pressure. Zhao goes back over to him. Pass ahead. Haft tried to spring his man up the middle. Luca Rogers gets it, chips it towards the middle. Now an opportunity for Hamill. Hamill, left wing for Ubongan as he tipped it in. Chipped forwards, and now a chance here. Working his way to the left, looking, Carragher shooting over top of the goal. Far boards, gathered up at the right point. They'll sauce it over, out of the reach of Witcherkush. Sends a backhander in behind the cage out the far side. Carragher, unable to get a clean backhand into the zone, followed up as St. George's send it down. Hamill, up the middle. Here's a look. Carragher gains the zone to the right wing, met by 2 red and white jerseys. Norrie poked away as he'll track back for it. Here's Witcherkush. Onto the stick as the Bisons turn and burn up ice. Jollies over the red line, gains the blue and dumps it in. Back for it first. Schiebler goes to the far wing. As Gambetti knocked down by Gamble. Gamble working his way in, right wing feed, tried to shovel it back through, goes wide of the goal. As Constant, down low to Gamble, out of his reach. Novak McNevin gets to it, tried to play it down low. Gamble gets contact. Novak McNevin, as Loeffler backing up. Sees St. George's on the way. Bank pass, and now speed from Knee. Knee to the outside, curls to the forehand. Sends it to the goal, hit the skate of Gambetti, as Gamble lost it to Knee. Spencer Ho, contact with Norrie. Still working to keep that puck alive, though, as Novak McNevin, he and Knee come together as he pins him to the wall. Knee spinning around. Bingo Zhao with it now. Zhao lets it go. Nichols a save. Loose puck rebound. Cleared away by Norrie. Down to 12:22 in this third period. Shot steered wide by the stick of Nichols. As a couple of bodies go end over end in front of the benches on the near side. Reverse to the opposite wing. Dumped in by St. George's. As delayed offside the call. Davison forced to tag up. Haymore will leave it there for Jollies as St. George's. Now they'll come back into the forecheck. Rogers leading the charge. Right wing feed now for Loeffler. Loeffler in down the wing. Takes the shot. Stops. Rebound sent over top of the goal. Offensive opportunity nearly comes to fruition. Waits, passes off up high, center blue line. Haymore tipped in front and Wood the save. Ends up in the far side corner. as they'll cycle it back down low. Hooked back up high. As they'll send it rink wide, they'll call it a glove hand pass. So 11:26 remaining, and it is a face-off in the neutral zone. A sensational game happening here at Dale Fisher to finish off the day, and what more could you ask for? Close competitive competition. As the Bisons and St. George's both searching for their first win of the Canadian Crown. Played off of the end boards. Contact there with Kant as the puck will come up the near side. St. George's play it to the middle. Now a look on the far side. That one's shot in around the boards, down low near side. Nichols passes to the right wing. Turns around as Hamill under pressure there by Hill. Just about gets out of the way of the hit of Haft. Goes back into the zone, so Haft has to tag up. Hamill to the right wing side. Chipped off of the wall, and down it goes. As they'll play it over far side. 10:41. Digging for it. Rugby scrum ensues as both sides looking to see if they can keep that puck moving. As the official having a look to see if it comes loose. It does, briefly, as it works its way back into the corner. That one sent across. Comes around near wing as they retreat for it. There's Thomas. Waiting for it in front of the cage. Creeping in off the line was Carragher. As Henry Zhang sighting in front of the net there, wearing number 17. In behind the cage is Thomas. Out the near side. Played it forward. Chance for Knee now. Can he catch up with it? Out of his reach. He'll be a sharp angle. In behind the cage. Knee pivoting. Around to the far side. Feeds it across. Spencer Ho got a piece of it, but not enough. As Gambetti. As Witrikush. In down low. Worked over by Ho. Puck still got to Jerlink. Jerlink with Jollies ahead of him. Jerlink blows a tire. Puck sent back to the Bisons line by Davison. 9.5 now. Left to go here. That one will work its way down to St. George's territory as time continuing to tick by in this game. St. George's need a goal here to try and chip away. Down by 2 as we're in single digits remaining in this contest. Far side as they'll play it through. Jolly's chasing after it. John Main first on the scene as the backhander goes D to D. Schiebler will turn out of the backhand and play it off of the wall. And St. George's knock it forward. And offside is the call as Rogers and Drath, the deflection, put them off kilter. 8:50 remaining. Solid play without stoppages. As all of a sudden a bunch of time has just disappeared off of the clock in this one. As Norrie up the left wing, flipped to the middle, ends up on the blue line far side. Off of the wall, then Loeffler banged it off of the window. Turn and fire as it works its way all the way in behind the cage. Nichols comes out of the crease and he'll play it around the near side. Shot deflected wide by Norrie. Gamble will play it to the right wing as Novak McNevin gains the blue. Takes it in down low. Shook the defender. Tried to drag it through. Gets the pass through. Centering feed. Knocked away from Gamble. Far side. As they play it. In behind the cage. Ubongan with it for the Bisons. Give and go. And then tripped up in the neutral zone. Gamble with it. Goes off of the window. As a little bit of pushing and shoving ensues. Fresh legs incoming as Haymore and Vimy come out onto the ice for the Bisons. Jolly's also set to join them. St. George's will flip it. Stopped at the line by Ubongan. As it'll be sent rink wide by Haymore. Following up is Hamill. St. George's put it on the window. Down to 7.5 left to go. Knee through to the forehand. Lifts the stick and knocks it away in behind the cage. Crisscrossing. Hamill will come away with it. Feeds to the right wing side. As they'll work their way through. Drops it off down low. as that puck will work its way near side. Through it goes to the opposite wing. Here's a look for Haymore into the glove of Cohen Wood. And Cohen Wood of Delta BC coming away so far with a 22 save performance. On the other side, it's 25 for Declan Nichols. Both the netminders getting their dollars worth in this game. As off of the reset, trying to drag it through. It's controlled by St. George's. Poked off a stick. They'll come over towards the benches. Davison and Loeffler come together. Loeffler with it. Enters the zone. Tried the drag move to the outside. Gets the puck in deep. Battle continues. As that one will stay down low. It'll come around the far side. St. George's to the line. Tip it out to the neutral zone. Glancing blow there for a couple players. Trying to get around the lines. Official they do as Loeffler. Far side off a skate. And double whammy there as both St. George's players crash in but then go crashing down. Left wing side. Dumped in for Kent to chase after. He'll get a lick on his man. As St. George's now. Shot off of the wall and out by Maine. Doesn't have the legs for icing. So down to 6:08 left. Jurlink, the long stretch feed to the opposite blue line. Spinning around there was Carragher. Puck will come around left wing side. Here's Jollies through. Left wing, shot. And unable to find the rebound as St. George's. Can they accelerate? Near side off the skate up to the stick. Shot, stopped, rebound. Couldn't swing it out of the sky. Down low to Wessick. Wessick calling for it. Haft's shot was blocked. It'll come around near side. They'll poke it. Round to behind the cage is Norrie. Far side, Wessick in after him. Puck will bounce around against the half wall. Norrie couldn't chip it back up the boards. Coming away with it is Wessick. Backhand play to himself. Jurlink in the area. He goes up to the line. Here's Zhao. Slap shot. Nichols with the glove save. Down to 5:17 now is another long stretch without a stoppage. These two teams playing some good, clean, fast hockey here. You love to see it here as the week concludes on a Friday night. Of course, after this, it will be time for the semifinal Saturday. Once this game and all the games over on Zender are over, it'll be time to redouble the efforts. Here's a shot in front. Nichols the save. As Hill found himself all alone in front of Declan Nichols. As 5:08 remains, it stays a 2-goal lead for the Bisons. Face off far side. Knee, wrister over top of the goal. As Knee. Hamill coming over. Gamble in the area as that one sent over around to Witrikush. Witrikush plays it ahead as it's kicked forward by Constant. Hamill fires it in. Delayed offside. Forcing the tag up here. Loeffler. Has 4.5 now remaining on the clock. Time ticking away. Father Time slowly but surely more on the side of the Bisons here. Contact over in the far side corner. As that puck will try and wrap its way up high to the top of the zone. And a penalty coming here. Roughing is going to be the call. 29-25 your shots with 4:15 left. St. George's with a heck of an opportunity here as Novak McNevin will be in the sin bin for a pair. So Jollies out to defend alongside Jurlink, Loeffler, and Ubongan on the far side. It's Luca Rogers, Jaden Nee, as well Gambetti, a quick shot off the side of the goal, right off the draw. Maine and Zhao are back at the line. So 6 seconds gone by on the man advantage. St. George's, this is probably their most important power play of the tournament. We're going to see if they can come away with a 1-goal game and an opportunity to try and tie things up as that's fired off of the window, and Zhao can't hold the line. Sends it rink wide to Maine. Maine across to Zhao. Bingo Zhao. Onto his forehand. Father time on the side of the Bisons here. They've got the 2-goal lead. They don't need any more offense, but they sure as heck would love the extra opportunity for a cushion. Back to the line it goes. Zhao, backhand pivot as he looks for Gambetti down low. Now Rogers feeds it over far side for Knee. Back up high. Maine, left side Zhao. Far wing, feathered it through as Knee now. Back up to the line. Maine to Zhao. Couldn't get him clear for a one-timer. Shot blocked by Loeffler. It'll work his way around to the far side. Here's Ubongan. That one's tipped clear of the zone. Just over 3 minutes remaining here in regulation. Maine looking to gain the red line. He does and fires it in. As that puck will have enough momentum to work its way all the way around and back out of the zone. Another power play unit coming out here for St. George's. Fresh legs on the PK as well, as Ricky Hanna comes out. Far side, then fired in off of the wall, and then run over against the boards as they leave it in behind for Nichols. Here's Haft. Haft on the near side, dropped it back. They play it around far wing as Loeffler. Back and forth he goes, trying to knock this one out. Back of the line, Lesk over to the far wing. Wessick tried to feed Davison, couldn't do it. Gets his own rebound after it was blocked, then Lesk will put it back around and behind the cage to Davison. Davison, a backhander, can't get it cleanly in front. Here's Heft, I should say, across. Takes the shot, took a couple deflections, and goes to the other side. Wide open cage, but he was not able to recognize it in time. We're back 5 aside as Novak McNevin back out onto the ice. Here's Constant in behind the defense, shoots off the pad of Wood. Bisons to the middle. Haymore in all alone to the backhand. He scores! Chad Haymore with the silencer. A beauty on the backhand. Tucks it upstairs. Under 2 to go in the third period. The Bisons get the dagger. 3-goal lead on the board. Silky mitts only for Chad Haymore. The Bisons look like they've just wrapped this one up with a pretty bow as Chad Haymore comes in off of the bench and scores a beauty on the backhand. Left wing side now. Vimy up the wall. Rister over top of the goal. Norrie holds the right point. Down to 90 seconds remaining in regulation. Bisons. Haymore stopped and able to get the glove on top of the rebound was Cohen Wood. 1:27 remaining as the Bisons came to play here today. 2 goals in the first 90 seconds of the second period. Gave them the 3-goal to 1 lead. And then a fantastic finish from Chad Haymore. Off of the pads, it'll come around left wing to Kent. Kent down low as Maine takes him out against the wall. Fired off the boards. Pinching in was Loeffler. Round the cage it goes. Back around near side. Henry Zhang coming together with his man as it'll come out the near side. Just about the final minute of regulation here. Back for it is Schiebler. Schiebler in hot pursuit. Threw it off of the wall. And that is offside as they tried to hold the line and send it down low. Brief conversation there. Going to be a little bit of frustration on the side of St. George's, down by 3 late here in the third period. But in a valiant effort by both teams in this contest, it was an exceptional one. And Chad Haymore with a sensational goal. That is the difference right now. The dagger. Here comes St. George's, though. Not going to go into the sunset quietly as they play it off the wall. 45 seconds remaining. as Loeffler shot that one off a Constant, then fired right back in off a Gerling. Gerling to his right, gains the zone. Nice drag move. Tried inside out. Sends up on the boards. Off a St. George's player. Wittrikush couldn't knock it down. Icing waved off. Down to the final 30 seconds. As Loeffler, with knee in pursuit, gets around the outside of Ho. Tries to dump that one in around Thomas. Puck into the attacking zone. Got out of the way of the contact. It'll end up far side wall. Down to 10 seconds left. On the boards, they'll backhand it down to the neutral zone, and Loeffler and Knee come together, and that's going to be a late penalty going against Loeffler. So a kneeing penalty called here on Loeffler as he stuck out the leg with Knee trying to cut to the middle. So Loeffler is going to get the kneeing penalty. He'll be escorted over to the sin bin with 1.2 seconds remaining. A mere formality here. As one final face-off set for this contest. It's a 4-minute double minor for kneeing. But that will do it for this game. One last save for Nichols. And your final score, 4-1 for the Calgary Cannex Bisons as they come away with their first win of the U15 Elite Canadian Crown. 2 goals in short succession as there's the celebration from Nichols. Nichols with a 30 save performance. Very deserving of the victory and the adulation from the teammates here. And the Bisons, of course, get the job done on the offensive side of things as well. St. George's will drop to 0-3 after a couple of tough games against Edge and Bishop Kearney. They drop a 4-1 decision to the Calgary Cannex Bisons. And thus the handshake line. You always love to see it between these teams as despite all the carnage and chaos and the physicality, the fast-paced emotion of hockey, it all boils down to a mutual respect in the end. 4 games in the books here today from Dale Fisher as Nichols is still pumped up. You still see him celebrating to himself every once in a while after he comes away with that big victory. And again, the Bisons definitely deserve that one after a solid 60-minute showcase from the forwards, the D, and of course their netminder, Declan Nichols. So we'll have our post-game presentations as Nichols goes over to find the coaching staff on St. George's, as do some of the St. George's players going over to shake hands with the Bison's coaches. And then Nichols and Wood get one last fist bump there, too. Players will line up for our Player of the Game and WHL Heart and Hustle presentations. So Player of the Game for St. George's will be their captain, John Main. And the MVP for the Bisons is going to be Loeffler. Wessick comes away with a Heart and Hustle award for St. George's. And Gamble comes away with the Heart and Hustle for St. George's. Of course, an honorable mention to Nichols, who comes away with a 30-save performance in this one, too. There it is. The photo with all 4 of them. as the Calgary Cannex Bisons, once again, congratulations, coming away with the victory here as they improve to 1-2 in this crazy Canadian Crown U15 Elite Tournament. As 4 games have come and gone here today, as the opportunity at the end of it all, these teams will now be reshuffled into A, B, and C division for our semifinal Saturday tomorrow. As we'll turn our attention one last time into the broadcast booth here at Dale Fisher. Welcome to the Crow's Nest up in the corner. Ian Wilson with you all day long on behalf of the incredible broadcast crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. What a contest here between the Cannex Bisons and St. George's. Some BC versus Alberta action, and Alberta reigns supreme here tonight at Dale Fisher. A 4-1 final score capped off by a wondrous goal by Jad Haymore, as Haymore been a consistent piece of the puzzle for his team this tournament. We caught up with him prior to the game, and you could see definitely a lot of love in that locker room. And for Haymore, he channels that into the ability to make a difference when it matters, and he comes away with the dagger at the end of this game. Of course, the shout-out goes, of course, to the 2 goals in under 90 seconds to kick off the second period. That was a absolute turning point for this Bison squad as they marched to their first victory here at the Canadian Crown. Shout out as well to St. George's, a solid effort through the round robin, a lot of tough opponents. There is no easy matchup here at the Canadian Crown, and they fought for every inch that they got in those games, and just some tough ones that don't necessarily go their way. You can't necessarily gauge the success or failure at an event like this based on the record. There are so many intangibles that go into traveling out to an event like this and the players' development that happens as a result of it. So we're very happy that you got to watch it all along the way. And we're not even close to finished yet. We have got the semifinal Saturday tomorrow, followed by our championship Sunday here in Devon, Alberta. Ian Wilson with the call on behalf of the incredible crew of Trickshot Sports Production that does not miss. Thank you for joining us for day number 2 of the Canadian Crown. As that's it, that's all for us from Dale Fisher. There's still a couple more games going on over at Zender Rink, so if you're still curious about the best U15 action in North America, be sure to tune in on the other side with Tino Farah on the call. As always, do us a favor, be the best version of yourself, be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.